How many bands can you name that start with the letter E? Amazingly, not as many as you might think. It's probably easier to come up with a list of songs with unbelievable backstories. There are plenty of songs with outrageous lyrics and even more songs with unbelievably sad messages, but coming up with bands that start with the letter E? That's tough. The Eagles and Evanescence are two very popular bands that start with the letter E, but who else? Now, don't get a headache thinking about it because we already have that list going. I'm Mike with List 25, so sit back, have your Spotify handy, and let's learn about the top 25 bands that start with the letter E. And no, this is not because my last name is Estrin. Or is it? '25. Originally known as The Exiles, Exile is an American rock band founded in Richmond, Kentucky. They first grabbed the headlines in 1978 with the ballad hit Kiss You All Over. The song was later used in the 1996 Adam Sandler movie Happy Gilmore and in the 2006 film Employee of the Month. 24. Exodus. Exodus is an American thrash metal band formed in the late 1970s in Richmond, California. Wow, that's two bands formed in Richmond's. How weird. Like every metal band that respects its name and fame, they have gone through numerous lineup changes. During the past 40 years, they've released 10 studio albums, 3 live albums, 2 compilation albums, and 3 video albums, along with 11 music videos and 8 singles. Whew, not bad. 23. Eruption. Eruption was a popular British disco and R&B band back in the 70s. They're notable for their covers of several songs. Their cover of Ann Peebles' song I Can't Stand the Rain and Neil Sedaka's One Way Ticket were big disco hits in 1978 and 1979, respectively. 22. Elf. Elf was an American rock band that was founded in 1967 by the god of metal Ronnie James Dio. The band was originally called the Electric Elves. Interestingly enough, it was shortened to the Elves in 1968 and finally Elf in 1972. They may never have given us a hit, but they did give to the music world the one and only Dio. 21. The Elegants. The Elegants are an American doo-wop vocal group that was formed in 1958 by 5 Italian-American boys in New York. The band usually performed informally under the boardwalk by their homes. Regardless, they managed to produce a #1 hit titled Little Star, which also became gold in the US. They never produced another hit, but they still toured with great artists, such as Buddy Holly, Chuck Berry, and Jerry Lee Lewis. 20. The Echoes. The Echoes were an English musical group. They were established in London in early 1960 by singer Chris Wayne. The brightest moment in this band's career was probably the night that a young Ringo Starr joined the group and played the drums during a live show. That was in 1962, and Ringo Starr was still an unknown musician looking for his place on the musical stage. 19. Everclear. Everclear was formed in Portland back in 1992 by Art Alexakis. They were one of the most famous groups from the 1990s. Their second album, 1995's Sparkling Fade, went platinum in both the US and Canada. 4 singles were released from that album, including Santa Monica, which reached #1 on the Hot Mainstream Rock Tracks chart. So Much for the Afterglow was released in 1997 and became Everclear's best-selling album, going 2 times platinum in the US and Canada. The 90s kids who are watching this list probably feeling a bit nostalgic right about now. I know I am. 18. Eiffel 65. Eiffel 65 is an Italian Eurodance group formed in the late 90s. The name Eiffel was chosen randomly by a computer program. The 65 was scribbled onto their name on a demo by mistake. It was actually part of a phone number. The group's most popular hit, Blue, Daba D, achieved incredible worldwide sales and reached #1 in 23 different countries. Oh boy, did I sure own Europop. That CD got listened to over and over and over again.
17.
East 17. East 17 was a 90s British group that was quite popular with teenage girls. Interestingly, the name of the group was actually just the first part of the group members' postal code. And their first album was named after their hometown Walthamstow in Greater London. Their style blended pop and hip-hop in songs such as It's Alright, House of Love, and Let It Rain. The group sold over 20 million albums worldwide. Their biggest selling single, Stay Another Day, was the UK Christmas #1 of 1994.
16.
The Edsels. The Edsels formed in the town of Campbell, Ohio in the 1950s. They borrowed their name from the Ford automobile. Their first release in 1958 was Rum-a-Ding-Dong, which did not make the charts. In 1961, however, various DJs started playing the song, and it was re-released on Twin Records, eventually peaking at number 21 on the Billboard charts.
15.
The El Dorados. The El Dorados were an R&B group from Chicago. They started in 1952 when Perkle Lee Moses Jr. got together with some students at Inglewood High School. After a string of unsuccessful singles, they recorded At My Front Door in 1995, which conquered the US Billboard R&B charts and made it to number 17 on the US pop chart. Their last record was released in 1993.
14.
The Easy Beats. The Easy Beats were an Australian rock band formed in Sydney in late 1964. 2 years later, they relocated to London. The group felt the UK would help get their music to the mainstream audience, and it did. The move was a smashing success. They became the first rock and roll act from Australia to score an international pop hit with the 1966 single Friday on My Mind.
13.
The Earls. The Earls were a popular group from the 1960s. They formed in the Bronx. In 1962, their single Remember Then became a nationwide hit. Unfortunately, this was the only hit from the group. Fortunately, when the oldies revival scene resurfaced in the 1980s, the Earls found fame again. They became one of the most requested groups in the doo-wop genre. In 2008, the well-established group was finally recognized. The Earls were honored with a place on the Bronze Walk of Fame.
12.
En Vogue. The 1990s produced a variety of hits and musical groups. En Vogue was one of the groups to emerge from that decade. The female vocal quartet hailed from San Francisco and became one of the most successful girl bands in recent history.
11.
Empire of the Sun. Taking their name from the J.G. Ballard novel, Australia's larger-than-life electro-glam pop duo, Empire of the Sun, is one of the best dance acts in the world right now. Their 2008 debut album, Walking on a Dream, brought the duo international success as it had been certified double platinum in Australia and gold in the US, UK, Ireland, and Germany.
10.
The Edgar Winter Group. The Edgar Winter Group is a 1970s band with classic rock hits like The Frankenstein and the ever-popular Free Ride. The band's debut album, They Only Come Out at Night, stayed on the charts for an impressive 80 weeks. It was certified double platinum in the US and continues to attract critical acclaim to this day. Interestingly enough, the AllMusic Guide labeled the Edgar Winter Group's songs as red hot.
9.
Everything But the Girl. Tracy Thorn and Ben Watt first emerged as pioneers in the light jazz music scene in the early 1980s. By the mid-90s, their hit album Amplified Heart was released. The remix of Missing was a smash hit in 1995. It became gold and platinum in 7 different countries, including the US and the UK.
8.
The Everly Brothers. The Everly Brothers were an American country-influenced rock and roll duo. They were known for their steel string guitar and close harmony singing. Formed by the brothers Don and Phil Everly, the duo had their greatest success between 1957 and 1964. They were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1986.
7.
EPMD. EPMD were among the pioneers in hip-hop's underground scene during the late 80s and early 90s. Their funky style and sharp lyrics created many classics over the course of their 4 albums, and included the 1988 classic Strictly Business and 1992's Business Never Personal.
6.
Europe. Europe rose to fame with their 3rd album, 1986's The Final Countdown. The album went platinum 3 times in the US. It conquered the international charts, selling over 15 million copies worldwide. Europe disbanded in 1992, but fortunately for their fans, they reunited in 2003.
5.
Electric Light Orchestra. Electric Light Orchestra, or ELO, is a British rock group from Birmingham, England. The band has released a total of 13 studio albums since 1971, selling more than 50 million records worldwide. In 2017, ELO was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The band also holds the record for having the most Billboard Hot 100 Top 40 hits, with 20 without a number 1 single.
4.
Earth, Wind & Fire. Often described as one of the most innovative and commercially successful acts of all time, Earth, Wind & Fire are the absolute disco ambassadors of the music world. Rolling Stone once wrote that the band changed the sound of black pop. I'm pretty sure Michael Jackson would most likely disagree with such a statement, but oh well.
3.
Evanescence. The self-described rock band categorizes their music as dramatic dark rock. The group began with Amy Lee and Moody meeting as teens and finding a musical connection. By the late 90s, Evanescence was gaining notoriety with selling EPs of their music. 2 decades later, Evanescence is still going strong, with millions of fans around the globe.
2.
Eurythmics. Eurythmics were an 80s British pop duo consisting of David A. Stewart and the legendary Annie Lennox. With more than 80 million records sold worldwide and classic songs such as Sweet Dreams and Here Comes the Rain Again, Eurythmics is one of the most commercially successful duos in music history.
1.
The Eagles. The Eagles are one of the most successful music acts in history. Their albums, their greatest hits, and Hotel California rank 1st and 3rd respectively among the best-selling albums in the US. Their greatest hits sold 38 million, and Hotel California sold 26 million album units in sales. Needless to say, the Eagles are certifiably the most famous band that starts with the letter E. So, what's your favorite band that begins with the letter E? And, I'm pretty sure the reason Eminem isn't on here is because he's not really a band, he's a single person. So, let us know in the comments below, or tweet your answer to us at List25. Probably Eiffel 65 for mine. I liked a lot of these.
Enjoying our lists? Be sure to click that subscribe button on the bottom right and the notification bell so you don't miss out on new ones every Monday through Friday. Share them with friends and help us consistently conciliate curiosity. And if you want even more lists, check out these videos here or just head to our website at list25.com.